The Olympics were invented in 776 BC. After a hiatus of several millennia, they were started again in 1896. In 1900, women were also permitted to participate. In 1904, the US took first place in the total amount of medals won, and they stayed on the pedestal for a very long time. The original Olympics used to put all military conflicts on hold. City-states in ancient Greece signed temporary treaties to participate. That tradition did not survive into the modern Olympics, and in 1916 the Olympics were cancelled because of World War I. After the end of the war, the Olympics were held in Antwerp in 1920. In 1924, the very first Winter Olympics were held, and at that time figure skating and ice hockey were also added to the official competition. In 1936, the Olympics were held in Nazi Germany, and because of that were quite controversial. They were also the first to be broadcast on television. The Olympic Games were cancelled again in 1940 and 1944 due to World War II. Up until 1948, musicians, painters, architects, writers, and other artists also participated in the Olympics. But this was put to an end because the Olympics were supposed to feature amateurs, and artists were considered professionals. The United States still led, with the largest amount of medals. The 1960 Summer Games in Rome became the first Olympics covered by US television. In 1968, the Soviet Union challenged the US dominance at the medal table for a couple of decades. This rivalry played into the ideological conflict between the two superpowers. Sports and political rivalry came to the fore. Each side strived to show the other that they were the best, both physically and ideologically. Great Britain held the third place throughout the decades. In 1980, the US boycotted the Moscow Olympics, but their absence did not affect the total score at the medals table, even though the Soviet Union won the Games in 1972, 1976, 1980, and 1988. It was still not enough to knock the US from first place. Even after its collapse, the Soviet Union still holds the second place in the total amount of medals to this day. Note that Finland has consistently stayed in the top 10 since 1912 when they collected a total of 32 medals. It's quite an achievement for a country with a relatively small population. When Finland achieved independence in 1917, the population was only 3.1 million. When they dropped out of the medals table in 2012, the population was 5.5 million. In that time, Finland was awarded 455 medals and in 100 years remained one of the strongest contenders. The Russian Federation didn't enter the top 10 until 2014 with a total amount of 490 medals. The United States is the undisputed winner of the medals table. Throughout the years, they continuously stayed in first place by collecting the largest amount of gold, silver, and bronze medals.